The first one, I'm going to show you two ways to do this. The first way I'm going to show is probably more like maybe what you've been doing. I'm going to distribute. When I distribute one at a time. Anybody know why I do it that way? So I don't mess up. Because some people automatically draw two arrows and then they forget to actually multiply the 2 times the -7. So now I've got both sides completely simplified. I'm going to move my x's to one side and my constants to the other. So it looks like at this point I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides, which will give me 2x over here. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2, which will give me -7. Now, if I were taking quiz over just solving, is there a way I can make sure I got that right? I can plug it back in and make sure I get a true statement, right? Okay, so now I'm going to show you another way. Do you notice how this 2 is multiplying the whole left side? It's not keeping up with me. Do you see how that 2 is multiplying the whole left side? So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. That's going to give me 4x minus 7 equals 5x. Because these 2's become 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Subtract my 4x, and I get x equals -7. Are both ways right? Yes, they're both good math. You can solve lots of different ways, just so long as it's good math, you're good to go. So there is no Miss Moon's way. No, just solve it. I can follow your work. If you get to the right answer, but your work doesn't actually get to the right answer, that means you magically came up with an answer that's right, but your work doesn't tell me it, then you're not going to get credit for it. So your work has to get there. Okay, if we got 2, need a moment to work on 2. Last one. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute. So I get -3/4 x. Oh, fractions. Aren't they horrible? Then I got a negative times a negative, so isn't that positive? When I multiply 3/4 times 4, don't the 4's each become 1? So I'm left with 3. So the next thing I want to do is get all my x's to one side, and I want to get all my constants to the other. Since I have x's on both sides, I am always going to move so that I get a positive x. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So let's see, I got a +3, I got a 1, but then I've got 2x minus 3/4 x, right? I need a common denominator. What do I need to multiply by 2 by to get a common denominator? Kind of, but not really. I know what you're doing, but not quite. I'm actually going to multiply 2 by 1. Doesn't that sound crazy? I'm going to multiply 2 by 1, and I'm going to get a common denominator. Does anybody know what my 1 is going to look like? Nice. I need to multiply by 4/4. Do you see how 4/4 equals 1? So now I'm going to get, let's see, 8x over 4 minus 3/4 x. That's how we get common denominators. So we end up with what? 5/4 x. Do you agree? Okay, what would I do next? Subtract my 3. So I got 5/4 x minus 2. Okay, now I need that 5/4 to become a 1. What do you multiply 5/4 by to equal 1? So 5/4 times something equals 1. Say it. Yeah, it's reciprocal. If I multiply this by its reciprocal, 1, 1, 1, 1, what I do to one side, I got to do to the other side. So we have x equals, will my 2 and 5 reduce? No, well, 2 going to 5. No. So then I'm just multiplying across, so I have -8 fifths. Lots of good math in that one. Okay, let's take a break from this for a minute. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is distribute this -4. I just drew it to both, which is a really bad idea, because then I might forget to multiply my -4 times my -1. And then we got 2n plus 10. Oh, totally is, yeah. I didn't even see it. I'm looking at why my screen looks different than that one. Okay, maybe everything's not following me. There we go. Okay. Then we got, let's see, let's get all our n's to one side. So I'm going to subtract the 2/3 in. I'm going to add the 4 in. And then I'm going to add the 10. And I'm going to add the 10. And that's going to get all my n's to the right. That's going to get all my constants to the left. So let's see, over here I get 14. Over here I get 4n minus 2n minus 2/3 n. I didn't write all that, did I? -2/3 n plus 4n. Okay, so this one's real easy, right? So I got 14 equals 2n minus 2/3 n. So now I got 2n minus 2/3 n. I need a common denominator. How am I going to multiply 1 by 2 to get a common denominator? Three over 3. So that'll give me 6/3 minus 2/3. So now I have 14 equals 4/3 n. Now, what do I multiply that 4/3 n by to get it to just be n? Perfect. So I got 3/4 over here. I got 3/4 over here. Leaving me with n. Will this 4 and 14 reduce? Sure it will. They're both even. 2 will go into 4 twice. 2 will go into 14 7 times. Always make your numbers smaller before they go bigger. 21 over 2 is what n equals. Leave it just like that. Don't need to convert. Keep in mind this video is going to be on the website, so if you need to look at it again, please do so. Looking at the next one, we're going to graph this. I want you to find the y-intercept, and you're going to find the y-intercept by plugging in 0 for x. So what's my y-intercept? 6. So I'm going to go plot it. Now I want you to find the x-intercept. You're going to do that by plugging in 0 for y. So what is my y? My x? 4. I'm going to plot it. 2 points make a line. Voila. The next one we are going to convert to slope-intercept form instead of just going for the intercepts. So in this case, the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 4x, leaving me with -2y equals -4x plus 24. Be very careful that negative stays in front of the 2. Now we want to divide everything by -2. Leaving me with y equals 2x minus 12. Okay, so I have the slope. The slope is 2, right? My y-intercept is -12. Is -12 on my grid? So I need to go get an intercept. Can I go back and get my x-intercept? Wouldn't I just plug in 0 for y? What do I get for an x-intercept? 6. So I'm going to plot x-intercept at 6 up to over 1. Shoot. There's a line. The last one's in HK form. Insiders lie. There's your point. Use your slope. Have a wonderful day. You can leave your computers on your desk.